Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm
I'm
Blair.
Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love Island All Stars Season 2, Episode 7.
You know what? I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. I realized something that this video, I'm going to put this video out first thing in the morning for UK time. I usually be rushing, trying to put it out in the US time, but y'all be asleep. By the time it comes out, it's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I know y'all got to work. So first thing in the morning, it's going to be up for y'all. And I'm ready to walk through this episode.
Let's go.
Let's go, please.
So we start with Scott and Tina.
Yeah.
Tina had to do what was right for her. Kaz asked Luca how he's feeling. He feels bad for India. He said, y'all don't worry about me. You know, I'm good.
Okay.
Catherine said, well, you did say none of us were your type. And Luca is not going to feel bad for not wanting someone in that way.
Okay.
Scott tells Tina that he's glad that she picked him. So they're just going to chill and just kind of digest everything.
Luca is in the running of probably being the worst all-star cast of Love Island.
Yeah.
It's like, bruh, you pouting. Now you're snapping at the women talking about, well, I ain't going to take back what I said if I'm not interested in y'all. Well, excuse me. Excuse me.
Yeah. So Kaz says that Tina hadn't picked yet when Luca said that there were no girls in here for him. Elma says that if he doesn't like any of the girls, then we can't do anything about it. Scott tells Ronnie that he would have liked to explore things with India, but at this point it is what it is.
Yeah.
Ronnie tells him that there could be more connection with Tina, and Scott just doesn't want to settle for anything during this experience.
Okay.
Ekin sees that Luca is crying, and she ends up giving him a hug,
Wow.
telling him that he's doing a good job. Luca says he doesn't know what he's doing here. Catherine, Elma, and Kaz go over there to console him as well, and he did appreciate the support of everyone. Scott wants the universe to bring Luca his girl. Luca says that things are different this time around. Ekin tells him that he's doing great. He is going with how he feels, and Scott tells him that his girl is on the way.
What is your thoughts, Blair?
I was like, get the boys off the island.
Okay, get the boys off the island.
Get the boys off the island.
If you were a fan of us last year, you would have known that, hey, listen, man, get the boys off the island. This is Love Island where the men are.
Yeah. I'm like, Luca is very sensitive, very emotional, and all that stuff can be great, but not here.
No,
Not here. You need to get the grafting. He's not grafting enough.
He's not
for me.
grafting. I still don't know what that means, but it's okay.
Yeah, well, flirting, getting to know people,
Okay.
hard pressing folks. Like, he's not putting himself out there anyway. And I think that's because he knows he's sensitive. And his feelings got hurt when Tina didn't pick him. And he tried to play it cool, but he couldn't. He just couldn't.
He just started crying because Tina did not pick him.
That's what I think. Luca goes on to say it's just because that, he really wants to find his person.
Hold on. He said he's emotional because he really want to find his person.
Yeah. When it comes to love.
That made me hungry. You know what I'm hungry for?
What?
A main entree of semantics and a side of lies. Because that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
He's lying to us, talking about he really want to find his person while at the same time saying none of you are my people.
Exactly.
It's like, okay, I hear you, bro.
So Tina chats with Luca. She enjoyed speaking with him and getting to know him, but she had one conversation with Scott that made things flip for her.
Yeah.
She would still like to know Luca, and he agrees that he wants to keep talking, but she rounds it out by saying, I kind of want to focus on Scott right now, though.
She basically pat him on top of the head.
She's like, we can talk as friends.
Uh-huh.
I won't ignore you.
Man, we have a saying for this, and of course it's not appropriate, because us men, we just know how to be disrespectful amongst ourselves,
Okay.
But I'm gonna put it in the PG version. Hey, Luca, you're scaring the women away, bruh.
Yeah.
You're scaring them, right? Like, as in, like, bruh, you're crying in public. Now my lady gotta come over here and hug you while I gotta fake support you and be like, it's okay, big man. You know what I mean? There's nothing like crying and then being called big man in the same sentence. Like, it's okay, big man. And Scott over there, like, okay, hopefully he find his person. And Tina's like, I'll talk to you in the morning, but like, I want to focus on Scott. Get the boys off the island. You are 100% right. I forgot about that saying.
Yeah. So it is bedtime. Elma says that you have to go for what you want, because if you don't, you'll be out the door.
Wow.
And the ladies are all saying that, Luca, he's just sensitive.
Now the ladies talking about you now. Hey, hold on. I just want to point this out, right?
Go ahead.
And I don't mean to actually, I mean what I say, because it was actually Cass who actually brought it up. She said friends with benefits. I'm like, bruh, Cass is not ugly. Yo, just use the friends with benefit umbrella until you find the person that you want. Don't be out here talking out loud, talk about I don't want none of you and I'm not going to apologize for it. Exactly. I'm like, you got a woman in your bed. Mm-hmm. Kiss on her, rub on her, touch on her, and things of that nature. You all like Cass even said it in the episode that she's this flirty person and she wants to be able to do that, but the person that she with, it's like she have to suppress it and stuff. So it's like, yeah, I don't feel no type of sympathy for Luca at all.
Yeah. So it's the next day. Scott says that there's less pressure with Tina. Mm-hmm. With India, they were friends before, and he didn't really feel like putting himself out there with India in that way. Okay. So Scott and Tina chat again. Scott asks Tina what she needs in a relationship. Luca and Kaz are listening. Mm-hmm. Tina wants honesty and loyalty. Well, Luca sees that Tina is going for Scott, and, you know, it is just a what could have been type of situation, so he's just willing to let them figure that out. Okay. Tina's love language is all of them, but she said physical touch first, and Scott says his is words of affirmation. Okay. Scott does want to start a family in the near future. He's looking for a woman who is nurturing, and he wants kids. Tina's talking about how she wants a lot of kids, and she has all this love and nurturing to give, but no one to give it to. So he tells her, it just seems like you've been around the wrong guys.
What are your thoughts on Tina and Scott?
I think that it's hard to tell right now. Yeah. Because India just left, so I think Scott is still kind of like mentally dealing with that. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's fully jumped into Tina completely. Yeah. And I also feel like he doesn't take Tina seriously. And even though he's asking her these questions about family and life and values, it's not clicking yet. It's just not clicking yet.
I'm like, this is y'all kind of boring. And not boring in a personality type, but it's like, for this blast from the past, you would think that it would be like, oh, it should click. I should be able to see y'all chemistry because y'all are basing y'all relationship right now on something that was in the past. And I'm not seeing it. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't think Scott gonna be into her, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Especially since coming off of India, like, I think, like, I don't think it's gonna work. I honestly don't.
Mm-hmm. So 2 new bombshells enter. We have Grace and Ron.
Shout out to Grace.
Scott daps Luca up and tells him your girl is here. So Grace pulls Casey first. He talks about how he and Gabby are getting along pretty well. Yeah. Gabby is nervous because Grace is beautiful, fit, everything, and she is shaking in her boots. Or in her wedges.
Well, that makes sense.
So Casey has been scared of commitment. She has been single for 3 years. He's been single for 2.5. She's 26. He's 28. She thinks that she needs someone who brings out the fun side of her because she can tend to be a little bit standoffish, and Casey does plan to remain open. Okay. Ron pulls Kaz. He doesn't think Kaz or Ronnie did anything wrong when it came to their kissing situation, and he actually feels like Kaz beat herself up too much.
He did.
She tells him that she's in a weird flirty friend couple with Luca, but it seems like he's afraid to give her more. She doesn't have anyone to flirt with, and Ron says, well, you do now.
See, what that tells me right there, and maybe I'm off, but this is Love Island. Yeah. Right? So when I hear a girl that say he is scared to give me more, basically, boy, she's open. Yep. She's open for, listen here, man, she's open for however you want to take it. You get what I'm saying? And she basically said he's scared. Yeah. You know, it's like he's scared of me.
I feel like Grace and Ron are doing a good job of coming in and getting to know everybody. Yeah. And this type of grafting is what I would have liked to see from Luca. Just when it comes, like Ron, he's flirtatious with all of the girls, right? And he's kind of letting it be known that, you know, it can kind of go whatever way y'all want it to go until he can figure out who he's best suited for. But Luca, he didn't allow himself to be open to anybody, really.
It was strange.
And with that, I mean, if someone doesn't come in specifically for you, you're not going to get picked. You're going to be off the island, bro. Yeah. So, but then with Gabby and Casey, I feel like Casey did a good job of being respectful of Gabby during their conversation, especially since he was just reassuring her the other day that they were good. Yeah. So,
no, listen, I think what's so funny is that, especially for me, I haven't seen Casey's season. So the only reputation I have of Casey is what Cass basically like, you did this as soon as he walked in. But truth be told, I like Casey so far. Like yes, he been, you know, he sleep with women and things of that nature. But I'm like, he seemed pretty chill, you know, for Love Island that is. But right. But you're talking to someone who is new to this, not true to this.
So Casey gets back to the guys and tell them that Grace is fit. She likes his vibe, thinks he's funny, and he thinks she might turn some heads in here.
Okay.
Gabby grabbed Casey first. She's telling some of the girls because he seemed to be easy to talk to, and she plans to talk to everyone. She knows that she has to step on some toes, so it's just kind of is what it is for now.
Okay.
Ron pulls Catherine. He asks her how things are with Naz. He's been nice, but things are a slow burn. But Ron thinks he might speed things up now since he's seeing that we're talking. So maybe. But even during that conversation, Ron was like, I'm not going to big up Naz too much because, I'm talking to you right now. So Luca and Grace chat. He tells her that he's been in limbo. Her being here has given him a boost. He met her before in her crazy phase, apparently, but she has calmed down. She's looking for a best friend and a partner, and Luca has been single for about 2.5 to 3 years, and he is trying to find a real connection. Grace is trying to find a man. She wants to settle down and spend her life with someone.
Okay.
And to me, sorry if I'm harping on Luca, but I felt like it was like a Luca episode today. He is 25. He's been single for 3 years. So his last relationship was when he was 21.
22.
So I'm thinking so how many serious relationships has he actually had in life to be that young?
0.
So all of this is just making me think like he really is very inexperienced, and this is probably very overwhelming for him. So
here's the thing about it. Truth be told, if you just let your balls drop just a little bit, you be perfect for Olivia, because Olivia never been in a relationship either.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And she's 28, 29. Now, granted, she will have to accept the fact that you're younger, but if you're younger, you have to be mature. The fact about Luca is that he's 25 and he act like he's 16.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying when it comes to women and just experience. So I don't think a lot of women is going to take the chance on the fact that he's 25 and been single for 2 to 3 years. And just how he just giving off like, I'm looking for my unicorn. And I'm just like, bruh, the whole point of Love Island All-Stars is like how many unicorns you want us to bring in.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like these are at least under this umbrella, the unicorns of the past seasons for some. You know?
For me to be that young, like I feel like this is your exploring and experimenting age, man. If you're single. So he's really holding himself back. He really is.
You got Kaz in the bed with you, bro. Okay, like have fun.
So Gabby and Kaz chat. Gabby is feeling like Grace might take Casey. Grace is stunning, every man's type, and she thinks Casey will like her.
She's not every man's type.
So Ron and Gabby, they've met briefly before. Ron and Grace have met briefly before. She thought that, Ron and Gabby. Yes.
Tell me who met before, Blair.
Ron and Gabby met briefly before.
Okay.
She thought he was hot, and his first impression was that she seemed sweet. He does want a nice girl. But she says like there also has to be that sexy energy. She said that you could pick me up. Apparently Casey hasn't picked her up yet.
Okay.
And Ron is telling her eyes are incredible, but she tells him she could be a little bit shy sometimes, but he doesn't mind bringing her out of her shyness.
Okay.
Casey was on her mind during her chat with Ron, just thinking if he would be worried or jealous, and she's hoping that he had a little bit of healthy jealousy while she talked to Ron.
Okay, let's keep going.
So Naz and Grace talk. Grace wants a man who can look after her, someone to have fun with. And Naz tells her that he has always risked it all for love. He needs the right person to do it with, though. And Grace is still willing to give everyone a chance.
Except Luca and Nas.
Exactly. Right? He really didn't make a great impression.
You ain't make a great impression at all. You had, and that's what I'm saying, you had a date with Tina, you ain't make a good impression, and you got a girl right now which she is losing impression with you because you are such a slow burner. And then on top, because here's another thing. I also pay attention of what happens when everybody go to sleep. Who's kissing, how everybody sleeping, and things of that nature. So even when I saw Tina and Scott in the bed, I saw them like on the edges of the bed.
Yeah.
You know, Curtis and Eck can go do their thing. But I'm looking at Catherine and Nas. Y'all edges to the bed, back towards each other. So my thing is, for someone like Catherine or someone like Grace and like most of the women here, they need a man that's going to, you could be a slow burn, but eventually you got to take the lead or something. You got to take the initiative. You get what I'm saying? And he don't come off as the type of guy that would take initiative. I would ask him, hey, you was in a relationship for 4 years. How come you ain't marry that girl? That girl knowing you and things of that nature, she probably was accepted unless there was some cheating that happened. But you ain't got 4 years of trying to get to know somebody. You got 4 weeks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's nighttime. Ron still needs to talk to Elma, and Ronnie tells him, I think you should. Olivia and Marcel are chatting, and they are hoping that Grace and Luca will hit it off. Apparently, Marcel thought that Casey was gassed after he talked to Grace because he said that she was fit and the conversation went well. But when it comes to Olivia and Marcel, they don't think that their heads could be turned.
Okay.
Casey and Gabby chat. Gabby says that she screamed when Grace came in because she's so hot. And Casey was like, yep, she's fit. And Gabby tells him to correct that. And he was just like, she's beautiful.
Okay.
Whatever. But he made it clear that he is happy with Gabby. If something comes up to where there's people they want to get to know or things start clicking, they will continue to communicate with each other.
Okay, that's fair.
Ron pulls Elma and he tells her that he's questioning her. He's like, girl, the way you reacted to that Ronnie kiss, it was, and she says it was 5 minutes after. It was really just the timing. And Ron says, you just, acting like you're all of a sudden wifed up. You were crying off a guy after knowing him for 3 days. You need to open yourself up and realize that the young man that has came in and walked in. I think she was a little bit offended at first because he was going in a little bit like, girl, what you crying for? But he did kind of spin it into, look who's here. Like, I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying?
But it's facts though, because he basically said like, because she tried to play it off like, I'm not wifed up. Like, I ain't act wifed up. And he was like, you cried from about a guy that you just met 2-3 days ago. Like you definitely wiped up. And truth be told, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. You went around basically saying he don't know how to kiss. I'm going to teach him. And then you started crying. And, well, I would say Ekansu put something in your head too.
Yes.
Right? So, but I'm just saying, like, you're definitely acting wiped up. You're not acting like you're open at all.
So Olivia tells Gabby what Marcel told her about Casey being gassed up about Grace. Gabby finds it a little bit annoying, but she's plans to continue to be open. And maybe at this point, she can't fully trust what Casey says.
Okay.
And I'm just like, half y'all girls really get on my nerves because Casey told you exactly pretty much what Olivia said without the words gassed up, because he probably didn't think he was gassed up. He was just like, the convo went good, So I'm just like, Gabby, you just want to be mad because
it's just another India.
Y'all literally just had this conversation.
It's just another India. It's just another, like, they act like they wiped up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So Grace pulls Casey again. Grace likes his vibe. He's a little bit more like funny and unserious, but maybe he might be too unserious. And he tells her that he has a serious and an unserious side. He doesn't like being serious all the time because life is too short.
Yeah.
He does want a best friend and a partner. Casey says that things with Gabby are going well, but he is not closed off. Gabby says that it's still early on, so it's good for you to explore your options.
Question. Let's say there's a meter, right? And this meter is in the middle. And on this side is the serious side, and the other side is the not so serious. If you had to describe yourself, are you more on the serious side or are you more on the not so serious?
Geez, I put myself smack dab in the middle.
Right. Okay. Well, but that's not the rules of the game.
I would say I'm a little bit more on the serious side.
More on the serious side. I am more on the not so serious side and things of that nature. Because, and not because life is so short, it's because that's true, but life is so short for everybody. You get what I'm saying?
But the thing is, like, I think my personality is serious, but I'm literally like joking and chilling and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't take nothing that serious, but when it comes to things I care about, like, I am going to definitely be direct and voice my feelings. I'm not going to play about what I care about. You know what I'm saying?
I have jokes all day.
Yeah.
Like I have jokes. I dealt with a lot of loss and a lot of tragedy. So it's like, nothing else can get to me now. So it's just like, I'm just going to joke about everything. Don't sit next to me at a funeral.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, because I got jokes. Those are where my best jokes get written at right there, But other than that, I think I'm more on the not so serious side.
So it's the game. They have to give a sash to the person that they think most deserves it based off of what the sash says.
I think this was a good game.
It was good. So Casey gets Heartbreaker. He gives it to Ronnie. Ronnie gets Jealous. He gives it to Elma. But he does kiss her and just tell her, it's just a game.
Yeah.
Elma gets Sexy and she gives it to Ekansu. Ekansu gets Thirsty and she gives it to Kaz. She tried to explain herself and she was like, I just think you need some water.
That made it even sound worse.
Just like, so you are 10 toes down on it. Thank you, Ekin.
Ekansu has had her sights on Kaz from day one.
Yes.
Basically, every move that Ekansu have done, even if it's directly or even if it's indirectly, it has affected Kaz.
And I'm just like, she did it just because she had the man she wanted. But you got him now.
Exactly.
Like, what are we doing now? So Kaz gets bad communicator. She gives it to Luca.
Wow.
He's been hot and cold. He could communicate his feelings a little bit better.
Yeah.
And he said it was how, she was acting, that he just didn't want to be around her.
Okay, sassy man.
Exactly.
Okay, I hear you, brother.
Luca gets vanilla vibes. He gives it to Scott, and he thinks that Scott is overlooking everything. Luca says, I'm sorry. Yeah. And then Scott says, well, I'm a bit older than you, and things are a little bit different when you're older. And I will say, Luca, bad communicator, because what do you mean he overlooks things? I don't know what he's overlooking. And secondly, I'm glad Scott is vanilla, because from what y'all say, Scott needed to chill out a little bit. Scott is with us because he became vanilla.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm happy that he's with us.
Yes.
Hey, Luca, the girl chose me, bruh.
Yeah.
I wasn't even trying to talk to her. You talked to her for 2 days straight, and she did not choose you. Don't be mad at me.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Scott gets fit AF, and he gives it to Kaz. Naz gets loyal. He gives it to Curtis.
Okay.
Curtis gets salty, and he gives it to Kaz. And this was after, not Curtis, Casey. Casey gets salty. He gives it to Kaz because after Curtis.
Take your time, Blair. Okay.
Curtis gets salty. He gives it to Kaz because after Ekin stole him, she was salty.
Okay, there we go.
Yes. Marcel gets self-absorbed. He gives it to Kaz. If you're not here for yourself, you're in here for the wrong reason, she says. But she'll take it. She thinks that it was a little bit harsh, though.
At this point, you can see her face is starting to drop. Like it's starting to hurt her feelings.
It's a little bit of a pile on. Gabby gets passionate. She gives it to Curtis.
Okay.
However, Casey would have given it straight to Gabby if it was him. So he felt like that wasn't cool.
But I would say Curtis, I would say when it comes to passionate, Casey, I don't see that from you based on what we've seen. So it is what it is.
Tina gets clueless. She gives it to Casey. He was clueless how to treat her in the past because he didn't wait. He left her, at the party.
Tina, that seemed like you was reaching, to be honest. Because he was like, how are you? He was like, tell me how I was clueless. Like it just seems like she don't know nobody good enough to insult except Casey.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Gabby gets predictable. She gives it to Ronnie because he stays in love triangles. And Ronnie's like, look, I'd rather try than just sit around and do nothing. And I'll say, yeah, Ronnie.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it was Grace that gave it to Ronnie.
Sorry, yes, Grace.
Yes.
Catherine gets stylish, and she gave it to Gabby. Ron gets extra, and he gives it to Elma just because of her reaction to the Ronnie situation. And she says she stands on it, and she's not going to take it back.
Okay.
And I think that, Elma, you just X yourself out of Ronnie's Ron's line of action because he's just like, yeah, you're immature.
And then on top of that, you sound wiped up.
Yeah. Olivia gets friend zone, which she gives to Luca.
Wow.
And she tells him because we're all in the friend zone. Pretty much you don't like none of us.
Wow.
And Luca says that he would rather, make it so that way like we're friends and it to be a romantic situation. And Olivia says, well, we're not much friends though, are we?
So we're not even friends.
So we don't even talk to you, Luca. I mean, we really don't even know you for real. So Luca, get up or go, honestly. Because, I mean, if he's stressing out talking about he don't know what to do and all this type of stuff, I think he's just overthinking. Just talk to people. See, just vibe, But he just might be an overthinker.
Man, so. Luca, get the boys off the island.
Yeah.
Okay? He's acting like a boy. When this is All-Stars. This is not, quote-unquote, a season that is like new contestants completely. These are basically people that you heard of, seen before, and y'all are here because they figured that y'all would be entertaining enough together.
Yes.
And Luca, you are failing. Okay? Anything else?
That's all I got.
Listen, we would do better. Subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see you.
Bye.